Good day, everyone. And I chose good day because we're in different time zones. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to our Grow Literacy project. This is going to be a conversation about a student-led publication, Where is Our Home? A bilingual children's book that explores what home truly means. It's so good to see you, and it's such an honor to actually be in the midst of you because this is an amazing project, fully student-driven project, which we're so proud of. So let me first start out by introducing our Vice Chancellor, Mariët Westermann, who, as you all know, is our able leader and our biggest cheerleader in every event and a supporter for projects like this. And then I'll introduce Dr. Rana Dajani, who is the CEO of the project called We Love Reading. Dr. Rana is an associate professor at Hashemite University in Jordan and has also taught as visiting professor at Yale and Cambridge. And she's a member of the UN Women Jordan Advisory Council. And she's listed as one of the most influential women scientists in the Islamic world. And she's also the founder of We Love Reading, which has received the Synagogue's Arab World Social Innovators Award in 2009, received the Wise Award in 2014, King Hussein Medal of Honor also in 2014, and the Star Award in 2015. This is really an amazing set of projects, and she would segue into having a conversation with our graduates who would also talk about a project that has a very important synergy with her own activities. Let me start with Malak Abdel Ghaffar. Malak graduated from NYU Abu Dhabi with a degree in literature and creative writing, and she's currently an Erasmus Mundus scholar pursuing her Masters of Arts in Children's Literature, Media, and Culture. And as part of her program, her project or program in Glasgow, which I just found she's at, she'll be studying in Glasgow, Aarhus, and Barcelona. And it's such a thrill to see you on the other side, pursuing graduate work and continuing to follow a project similar to the ones you worked on at the university. I'll also introduce Ian Hoyt, who is an engagement associate at the Pacific Institute, working to expand the reach and impact of UN Global Compact Sea water mandate, for which the Pacific Institute is a co-secretariat. Ian studies was on international water governance. He graduated summa cum laude from New York University Abu Dhabi with a degree in history. He was a research assistant, he was a correspondent for the Gazelle, the student newspaper here, and has worked in different aspects to promote literacy education. And then I would want to introduce Sarah M. Pan Algara, who is a Hillary Clinton Global Challenges Scholar, pursuing a master's in global challenges and law policy and practice at Swansea University's School of Law. Sarah's advocacy outreach with research with UN, UNICEF UK focuses on the impacts of climate change related displacement and migration on efforts to achieve girls' access to education. She too graduated summa cum laude from NYU Abu Dhabi, completing a double major in social research and public policy and theater. So welcome each one of you. This is really an amazing opportunity to get to know more about this project that was incubated at NYU Abu Dhabi.
Where's Our Home is a result of collaboration. As students in Elevated back in 2018, we wanted to do something that will go beyond campus, and we wanted to collaborate with an organization. We were interested in the work benefiting refugees. And we talked to Global Ties for Children with Professor Larry Aver. One of Elevated students was taking a class as a J-term course. And Professor Aver was very kind to connect us with Dr. Rana, And when we love reading, one of us was in Jordan as well, so we had an in-person meeting, and I think that's how everything started. We brainstormed different topics, and we realized that the question of home is one that it's relevant to migration, but also to all students at NYU Abu Dhabi. So Malak and Ian jumped in, and we produced this children's book in English and Standard Arabic with illustrations. So a lot of interdisciplinary collaboration, students coming from different majors. And then, of course, this wouldn't have been possible without the support of public relations at NYU Abu Dhabi, and also Arts and Humanities. So yeah, it says easily, but then after 2 years of work, we printed 3,000 copies, and they're now in Jordan and are being distributed with workshops that We Love Reading organizes with children and youth. And we hope that it will be shared with many more families. Yeah, it's a project that we're very proud of, because I think it shows the capacity that universities have to collaborate with organizations that are already doing needs-based work on the ground. And we have lots of resources at our university. So we hope that projects like this will continue moving forward for the next decade.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, such a poignant topic. Where is our home for students coming from over 100 countries, congregating in NYU Abu Dhabi? I'm sure it wasn't just an abstract topic, but it's actually something that everyone you encountered was related to. But I was just thinking about that. What kinds of mentorships or associations did you have with the professors here at NYU Abu Dhabi when you were incubating this project?
I think we spoke with so many different professors, whether it was professors in the arts and humanities to guide us on how do you write the book, how can we explain, what we want to say in different words, and then also professors from the Arabic department who helped me a lot with the translation and how do you say that specific word in standard Arabic so that all the children can understand it. But then also I think we had collaborations from professors that are not also from NYU Abu Dhabi. So we had professors from NYU New York help us as well. And like we said, Professor Larry Aber, who helped us a lot, and Global Ties. So I think it was very much interconnected. And then I also want to add that we even worked with professors from the interactive media department who helped us connect with organizations to help us digitize the book, because that was a future plan with this as well. So it wasn't just within, arts and humanities or something like that. It was very, very interdisciplinary, which I think is the essence of NYU Abu Dhabi. I feel like it really compiles everything this university strives to do in just one small book. And we want to thank all the professors who contributed to our work as well, because they helped us through every single step. And it was really impactful for us as a group working on the project.
Yeah. Before I ask Sarah to kind of give us more to introduce the book, I just wanted to ask Ian, you should feel free to jump in on this as well. What was the general student perspective on the project as you were making it and filling it out and getting more information and so on? What was it like?
I think depending on the stage, it was a combination of excitement, bewilderment, and enthusiasm. That this was a great opportunity. It was a very open-ended project when we started. We didn't know what we were going to write about. We didn't know what we wanted the story to be. We didn't know any of that. And so it was a process of exploration. And once we had a finished draft of the book, then you go into publishing. And there's all sorts of challenges and open questions that we had no idea how to address when we first started. And so it was somewhat intense and challenging at times, but it was a really great opportunity to collaborate with our faculty, with each other, with all of the resources that we had available to us. And so it was it was a winding road to get there. And at some points, not all of us were sure we would get to where we are now, but we did. And so I think as students, we can all say that we learned a lot from this process. and that we got to expand our understanding of what a project like this entails. And ultimately, I think that can help empower us to do more adventurous things in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, you put a big smile on all of us who are professors, and a big glow in our hearts that this project took on, and also gave you space for independent, collaborative thinking rather than just us telling you what to do. I think it's just an amazing achievement on your part. Sir, do you want to kind of introduce us to the book so that we can talk about that artifact itself?
So before the introduction, I would also like to give a special shout out to Professor Huluki Tanet and also Professor Lee and Professor Sawakirin Kam, who were really mentors in this process. So also thank you to them. Right, I mean, Where is Our Home tells the story of a child that kind of travels through imagination around different countries and cities in the world. You will see very soon. It's both in English and Standard Arabic, and it was purposely written in that way for our target audience. And it is collaboration with We Love Reading. So what we wanted to do and what it is the result of the project is a book that is now in the hands of people that do workshops on literacy to promote bilingual literacy, that it's also relevant in communities, and that it goes along with a workshop, and that is also handed to families. And that's pretty much what this book is. I think the process is also a lot of learning for students at the university into how to bring kind of different ideas together, and also how to ensure continuation, because that was an important challenge of the process, as our uni functions in semesters. So how you collaborate when you have somebody in New York and then somebody is in London and then the other person is in Abu Dhabi, which is very interesting feature of our university. So that's the book, and now I would like to give the floor to Malak and Ian to share their art with us. It's really, I see it as art.
So this is our book that we all produced together. And so it has English and Arabic. I'll begin with the dedication page. To those who wonder where home is.
لأولئك الذين يتساءلون أين هو المنزل.
Child. Mommy and Daddy, where was home before?
الطفل. أمي وأبي، أين كان منزلكم في السابق؟
Mom. My first home was in Cairo. I lived in the shadow of the pyramids. It made me very happy.
الأم. أول منزل لي كان في القاهرة. كنت أعيش في ظلال الأهرامات. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Dad. My first home was in Beijing. I ran across the Great Wall every day. It made me very happy.
الأب. أول منزل لي كان في بكين. كنت أركض عبر سور الصين العظيم كل يوم. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Mom. My second home was in the Amazon jungle. I got to swing from trees like a monkey. It made me very happy.
الأم. منزلي الثاني كان في غابة الأمازون. كنت أتراجع على أغصان الأشجار كما يفعل القردة. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Dad. My second home was in Antarctica. My best friend was a penguin. They made me very happy.
الأب. منزلي الثاني كان في أنتاركتيكا. صديقي المفضل كان البطريق. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Mom. My third home was in Paris. I climbed up the Eiffel Tower every day. It made me very happy.
الأم. منزلي الثالث كان في باريس. كنت أصعد برج إيفل كل يوم. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Dad. My third home was on top of Kilimanjaro. I lived above the clouds. It made me very happy.
الأب. منزلي الثالث كان على قمة جبل كليمنجارو. كنت أعيش فوق الغيوم. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Mom, my fourth home was in Istanbul. I had a Turkish delight every day. It made me very happy.
الأم: منزلي الرابع كان في إسطنبول. كنت أتناول راحة الحلقوم كل يوم. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Dad, my fourth home was in Muscat. I picked dates from palm trees every day. It made me very happy.
الأب: منزلي الرابع كان في مسقط. كنت ألتقط التمر من شجر النخيل كل يوم. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Mom, my fifth home was in Jaipur. I showered with elephants. It made me very happy.
الأم: منزلي الخامس كان في جيبور. كنت أستحمى مع الفيلة. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Dad, my fifth home was in Melbourne. I rode in the pouch of a kangaroo. It made me very happy.
الأب: منزلي الخامس كان في ملبورن. جلست في غيب الكنغر. كنت في غاية السعادة.
Mom and Dad, our sixth home was here. That's where we met each other and got you, your sister, and the cat. We are now very happy.
الأم والأب: منزلنا السادس هو هنا حيث التقينا أنا وأمك ورزقنا بك أختك والقطة ونحن الآن في غاية السعادة.
Child, where will our next home be?
الطفل: أين سيكون منزلنا القادم؟
Mom and Dad, we don't know, but it will be with you, and that makes us very happy.
الأم والأب: لا نعلم ولكنه سيكون معكم بالتأكيد وهذا يجعلنا في غاية السعادة.
Thank you so much. I just, I'll let Mariët respond to the project, but also want to tag on one or two questions for Mariët. Mariët, how does meaningful collaboration such as this student-led initiative foster connections and also benefit publics beyond NYUAD, as well as also promote literacy education in general? I wonder what your thoughts are on this.
Thank you so much, Awam. And thank you so much, Sarah, Malak, and Ian, and all of who supported you in the way that you've described for this incredible gift, this gift that you've made to refugee children who will enjoy this, children anywhere who I think who will enjoy this story, their parents, their caregivers, their teachers, and your gift to all of us. I have known about this project from the time that Sarah first described it to me in the fall of 2019, I want to say. We were looking forward to launching it in 2020. COVID got in the way. I always loved the idea of the project, but this is the first time I've actually heard the whole story, the way you've told it. And I thought the two of you, Ian and Malak, told it so beautifully. And it really came to life with these wonderful illustrations. I'm very moved by it. I have to say I'm a little overcome by the experience of it because it brings up so much. And I want to say that this project, first of all, initial reaction, it is the best of what NYU Abu Dhabi can be. It could not be more NYU Abu Dhabi in its highest aspiration. And I say that for some of the reasons that Awam has already hinted at and that you were describing, Sarah and Malak, as you described the project. Obviously, it speaks to the incredible diversity of the people who made the book. I know all of you on the team who were involved, more than a dozen people in the end. It speaks to the diversity of Abu Dhabi students. It speaks to your collaborative genes. We sort of select you for that, but you don't know how it works out until you get here. You really stretched to work together across the organization very powerfully. And I think that's very much bred in the bone of the institution and the community, but you also stretched beyond. You wanted to bring something from what you gained inside or what brought you to NYU Abu Dhabi, the disposition that you have to work together across difference to produce things that are needed, but also beautiful. I think that's what you did. And you wanted to bring it to one of the most vulnerable populations on earth, refugee children. And the people around them who need to help them, who are, of course, very challenged in the resource base that they have. And so even more than all these things that we say about NYU Abu Dhabi, about collaboration, interdisciplinarity, and diversity, and making something of that, you brought your love. You brought your love, and it shines off the page of these questions, especially the answers that the parents give. And the compassion for the position of these children, I think, of that child. And then what you do with that to bring your full care for them and leave them feeling more empowered at the end of that story. It's really fantastic. You did it by bringing your smarts, your hard work, your persistence, but especially your love. And I think it is an extremely powerful example of how together you can help us see the humanity of each other and of ourselves. So I just wanted to say that first of all. And then more than to the question beyond collaboration, which we've all spoken to, something about literacy, although I think Professor Rana will have more informed things to say about this, knowledgeable things, but let me just give you my reaction. I am a reader. I am at heart a voracious reader, a reader of images, but also as an art historian, but also a reader of books. And I've been a reader and a lover of reading for as long as I can consciously remember, really since I was 6, when I first recognized that I could read. And I remember the moment of realizing when I could read. I might have been just almost 6. It was just in the 1st grade. And my mother was very nearby. And I remember that so well. She was doing something in the kitchen. I remember her presence because I knew she would be proud when I would tell her that I could read. And that was not because I just was trying to please her, but because my mother was fundamental to my ability to learn to read. She had told us stories, me and my siblings. She made up stories herself. She read stories and pointed out pictures in them to help us understand them. I was reading a picture book when I learned that I could sound out the words and know what they said. She read herself voraciously for all of her life. It's one of the things I really remember about her. And so I would say most people are probably not quite as fortunate as I am. Many people read and tell their kids about them. I just was in this very lucky circumstance in the Netherlands. But I don't think that means that most people don't want their kids to read. Most parents probably are just like the parents in your story. They do want the best for their kids and want to help them share the love. And if they can share the love through reading, of course they would do it if they know that that's empowering for their children. Most people are not natural born teachers like my mother, but they're very willing. They just need a little help. They need the mechanisms to be opened up to them with compelling stories and to be able to show that their experience, in this case, experience of displaced parents, can actually strengthen the bond with the children and be a resource to them. And now I think this is what you have done. Elevated has elevated their potentials to read and share with their children and give them that little lift that every child needs through the act of love. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is very great. Yes, the Student SIG elevated. It was really a very good platform to which, thanks to you, you also elevated by taking it further. Dr. Dajani, I just wanted you to tell us a little bit more about your organization and how this collaboration happened. How does this type of collaboration help to foster and contribute to the literacy education campaign and the love of reading which you promote in your own work?
Thank you for asking the question and all of us being here together to celebrate this wonderful, wonderful achievement of the team of students. Actually, what you just said, Mariët, is so important, vital. It is a crime for a child not to grow up falling in love with reading, to discover their inner potential and the whole world around them. Our motto is changing mindsets through reading to create change makers. And the fundamental question is, how do you help a child fall in love with reading, right? To motivate them, because if they fall in love with reading, they not just become lifelong readers, but lifelong learners. And from the Islamic civilization where we come from and where NYU Abu Dhabi is situated now, the first word of the Quran was Iqra, which means read. And read, not just to read to, decode the words and letters. No, read with meaning, read with cognition, read with an impact, read to become a change maker. And so from that premise, We Love Reading is a program that works to foster the love of reading among children by reading aloud to children as early as when the mother is pregnant. So what we do is that we train youth and adults from age 16 to 100 years old how to read aloud as an art, because they haven't been read to, so they don't know how to do it. And then to read aloud in the native language, because you need a connection between feeling of security and happiness with your mother, just as you described there, that fosters that love of reading as the neurons develop in the brain. And that association stays when you're older. So when you're happy, you want to read. When you're sad, you want to read, because it gives you that good feeling. And so instead of training every parent, we train one person in the neighborhood to gather the children in a public space. It could be a mosque, a church, a community center, under a tree, and they read aloud on a regular basis stories in the native language from the local culture. And that's what the We Love Reading training is all about. It's an online training now because of COVID, and it's in 10 languages, and it has spread like a social movement, like a virus, to 63 countries and counting. Now, the second part of creating the magic and fostering the love of reading is training how to read aloud in the adults, but also having the right books, the ones in the local language, the ones from the culture, and that are attractive and fun to read. And so We Love Reading has also developed children's literature. We have 32 different books about different themes, from the environment to gender. And so when the students from Abu Dhabi, the New York Abu Dhabi came to us and reached out and said, we want to work with you on developing a children's book, we were like so happy. We have a manual that we shared with them to guide them how to create the children's book, and we were with them every step of the way. And we even tested the book with the children early on in the different drafts. And now that the book is done, we have given it out to different refugee communities and host communities, because they all are together, and we want them to have social cohesion and support each other and learn from each other, because we're all existing together. And I also want to, so that's about We Love Reading, but I want to comment on the collaboration. I think what's very important and has been a showcase in this example of the team of students from NYU Abu Dhabi is that most universities, their motto is to produce a citizen who can identify challenges in their community and come up with solutions using the skills and the knowledge they learned in the classrooms and the halls of the university. Unfortunately, not all universities deliver on that goal, but the students from NYU Abu Dhabi actually were able to do that, because they harnessed all that knowledge and skill that they had learned and all the resources at the university, and chose a project to reach out beyond the walls of the university to help the community and the vulnerable populations in the communities around them in the region, which were, in this case in particular, were the refugees, Syrian, Yemeni, Iraqi refugees in Jordan. However, refugees are everywhere. So this book will go beyond not just Jordan, but globally, and help spread that message of literacy, of loving to read. But most importantly, I think it planted in the students this feeling of, I can. I don't have to wait for somebody to tell me what to do. I have inside me that capacity, that confidence, that trust, that I can go out and help make a difference in my community. And that's what we need. The world needs that. The globe needs every one of you to make a difference in the world. So thank you. You can't imagine how you have made many children and women and men and youth very, very happy.
Thank you so much. This is, it's just great. I mean, for me, I kept hearing and thinking about the project and what my colleagues will be thinking about this amazing project too. I kept thinking about what the book also generates for the young kids, what it has NYU Abu Dhabi and their own reading has generated, the mind, the curious mind, the questioning mind, the discovering mind. This project is really a big opener. And we'll be asking other students, come on, this has happened. So you've set the bar as high as we always wanted it to be.
Thank you so much for the opportunity of working with We Love Reading, for all the support that we receive at the university to pursue this project. We even managed to attend the World Literacy Summit, and we participated also at the Comparative and International Education Conference, both online because of COVID, but which shows that this project was of interest to other organizations. So we are kind of showing how universities can collaborate with other organizations doing amazing and meaningful work. So just to encourage students that are now at NYU Abu Dhabi to continue dreaming and coming up with ideas on different projects. It doesn't have to be a book, it can be so many things, no?
I think I just want to say that the sky is the limit when it comes to dreaming about different projects, especially at New York University Abu Dhabi. Like, there is not one thing that we said we wanted to do and we didn't find the right department to go and ask, or didn't find the right professor or even students who wanted to work on something. There's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, even if you feel like we'll never get funding for this project, we'll never make it work, people are going on study aways, they won't be interested. That's not the case. There's always opportunities if you negotiate right and if you ask the right people, even if it takes 3 years, which this project has taken. Yeah, and I just wanted to thank literally all the members of Elevated who helped us, because this team is not just the 3 of us. There's like 12 or 13 students who are working on this.
No one can change the world by themselves. That this is only possible because of working together, of collaborating, of reaching out because we had an idea and we wanted other people to help us make that idea better. And so I think our story is about relationships, and ultimately, I think that's what this project was about too.
Well, thank you all. This is just amazing. And we'll just bring it to a close, and to thank the university and to thank Dr. Rana Dajani for being part of this amazing project, and to thank you with your various activities in different geographical locations. It is a thing of great pride for us to be engaged and associated with this project, and we're so proud of you. We will be knocking on your doors. You're not gone, you're just a little bit far, but we'll reach out to you, and thank you for everything you did.